The shloka number 35, 335 of Bhagavad Gita, there is a question. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharmaha Swa Anushtitihi Swadharme Nidanam Shreya Paradharmam Bhayapaham. So the meaning of this shloka, it is better to perform one's own natural prescribed duties. Though you may not be able to be perfect in that. Rather than perform another person's prescribed duty, though you may do it perfectly. It is preferable to die in one's discharge of one's own duty than follow the path of another, which is fraught with great danger. So this shloka we have to understand in the context of Sri Krishna telling Arjuna. Arjuna says, I want to take sannyasa. Okay? So Sri Krishna laughs and says, Swadharme nidanam shreyam paradharmam bhayapam. O Arjuna, it is better to die in your duty, performing your duty, than to take up sannyasa. So this you have to understand why. Arjuna is a warrior, Kshatriya, and he has fought many wars. His inborn urge is to fight against adharma. So now, if he takes sannyasa and goes to Himalayas, okay, and closes his eye in meditation, he will be restless because his nature is that of a Kshatriya, to fight the war, to fight against adharma. How can he meditate? He cannot. Now he may, because of his training, he can pretend to meditate, but he will not make much progress because mind will split. Split his nature. Okay, inner urge will be pulling him. Sri Krishna says, O Arjuna, your inborn nature is that of a Kshatriya. Sannyasa is not your nature. As Kshatriya, you may fight the war and you may die also. It is better because you will have mental peace, being in tune with your own nature. Whereas if you become a sannyasi, you will be out of tune with your nature. You will be struggling every minute. It's like rather than dying every day, die one day fighting for your dharma, rather than taking up something sannyasa, which is profession, which is not your dharma. So to say very, very simply, we have to be in tune. We have to do something which is in tune with our nature. Out of tune with our nature, you will be restless. Ultimately, spiritual journey is inner peace, mental peace. So now here he brings the concept of Swadharma. Swadharma means our inborn nature, our talent. For example, the other day we met one doctor who is a lady who is 40-year-old. She has been very highly educated. She did her MBBS and she did specialization, super specialization in on all medical fields. 35 years of study. Then she felt she is not the right one for these studies. And she left her profession because right from childhood, she had an inborn urge for dancing. So dancing is called kinesthetic intelligence. So the kinesthetic intelligence pulls her. So instead of that, if she is performing medical profession, she is not able to express her talent, experience her inborn urge, which causes stress in her. She finally decided, I'll drop medical profession and continue my dancing practice. So inborn urge is very close to us. It gives us peace and joy. Our inborn intelligence can help us to attain peace with ourselves. If you are put in a profession which is not in inborn urge, it causes disturbance. That's the meaning of this. For example, another example I will tell you. Einstein, a brilliant scientist, he joined as a clerk in the patent office. In the patent office, he is able to do duties perfectly as a clerk, doing all the jobs perfectly. But his mind is always in science, discovery. So he had to leave the job. Performing the job of clerk is not his inborn urge. So our inborn urge, inborn ability is called Swadharma, or it's also Prakriti. So Arjuna's Prakriti was Kshatriya. Krishna told Arjuna, stick to your Prakriti. Do not take up sannyasa, don't run away, fight the war. Even if you die, it's good. Another example is my daughter. My daughter, she had an artistic talent. It's called artistic intelligence. So she wanted, after her PUC, she wanted to join an arts course. But in our family, all are engineers. If I force her for engineering, she may do well. She may do well, but whole of her life she'll regret. Whole of life she'll, and we joined her in arts course. She enjoys her life, enjoys her profession and her talent. So what is talent? What is our inborn urge? We have to work in tune with that. Should not work because something else is available to us that gives money, but ultimately mental peace, inner harmony is what you are looking for. So this is the essential message. This is a message for parents also. Parents, for the children, you identify the right talent. There are nine intelligences in the child. So visual intelligence, listening, intelligence of listening, linguistic, logic. So many intelligences are there. And these intelligences you have to identify right inborn urge, inborn talent. And for that, you have to give education. Do not force the education, do not force the child into something which is actually doesn't fit into inborn urge. Then the whole of life the child will be restless. He may perform well in the duties, but that doesn't mean that inner peace is there. I had one of my classmates of Katyayani, my daughter. My daughter is an artist. She had a friend who was in engineering, who did her engineering, did some job also. She got into engineering because she got a good mark. Everybody in the family forced her to go into engineering. After joining engineering, after working for a few years, she felt that engineering is not the profession for us. Art is the profession. She had to leave her engineering profession and come back to art. Go where your heart is. Go your inborn urges, rather than getting trapped by external attractions or external pressures. This is the message for the parents also. Understand the inborn urge of the child, nourish that inborn urge of the child, and help the child grow in that profession. It may not be very well paying, but the child will be growing into a beautiful citizen with the inner peace. Swadharme nidanam shreyam paradharma bhayapaham. Everybody has an inborn urge, inborn talent. So this inborn talent and urge has to be recognized at an early stage in life and should be nourished. So that the child grows, talent of the child grows, and the child fits into a profession which is suitable for expressing his talent. So it's better to die performing one of one's own duties, which is in tune with the inborn nature, rather than doing duties which are not in tune with nature. It's called others' duties. So this makes you miserable. Paradharma bhayapaham. That's the meaning of that. So in ancient Gurukula system of education, the child at the age of 7 will go to Gurukula and studies up to the age of 16 or 18 in Gurukula. Guru there observes the inborn urge of the child, inborn talent of the child very closely and nourishes the child. So that child becomes very beautiful human being, performs his duty, performs job which is in tune with his inborn urge and harmony in nature. So that is the system of Gurukula education. Gurukula is isolated from the city, isolated from all influences, where Guru is able to observe very carefully the talent of the child, inborn urge of the child, and nourish that. Today what's happening? Today is too much of commercialization. There may be inborn urge. Some child may have inborn urge of dance. But because of societal pull, societal pressures, family pressure, the child may take up some other profession where it will not be comfortable. Really, if the child is good in art, the child should take artistic profession. But because of the influence of family and circumstances, the child may take up something else. I met a doctor who is very brilliant, super specialization, and after super specialization, she realized that after the age of 40, she realized that she is not fit to be a doctor. Right from childhood, she wanted to be a dancer. She left the medical profession and became a dancer. So by that time, she has already crossed midlife. A child which gets a child whose talent and inborn urge is nourished right from childhood will grow into a beautiful human being, very evolved human being, and very successful human being. So that's the meaning of Swadharma-Varna Dharma. Gurukula system of education was doing this beautifully. So there is a dharma called Varna Ashrama Dharma. Varna means inborn urge, inborn talent of every human being when they engage. So this in modern languages we can call them as 9 intelligence, different types of intelligences which a child can have. So that can be musical intelligence, there's a physical intelligence, there will be logical intelligence, like that 9 different types of intelligence are there. So these intelligences are to be recognized and nourished from the childhood. In earlier days, there was a system called Varna Vyavastha. Varna Vyavastha means a child is having certain inborn urge has to perform his duties, which is profession, in the same way. A child who has inner urge and talent for intellectual work is called Brahmin. Brahmin is supposed to perform Brahmin's duties. So these duties are in tune with the inborn urge. A child who has Kshatriya urge will have to become Kshatriya. So they cannot change the profession. The profession was chosen based on the Varna. Varna means inborn urge. So you cannot switch the profession. But today it's very confusing. Today a child with inborn urge of some talent, maybe music, may have to get into business for earning. So he is neither a good businessman nor a good artist nor a good musician because he is not able to express his inborn urge through profession, and profession doesn't satisfy his inborn urge. So he'll be neither here nor there. That's the meaning of Swadharme Nidanam Shreyam Paradharmam Bhayapaham. The Varna Vyavastha protected this system. Varna Vyavastha said, whatever your inborn urge is, you focus on that. The society, whole of the society has to support. So for example, a person with the intellectual understanding, the society has to support. He belongs to what we call Brahmin Varna. Varna means inborn urge of Brahmin, intellectual understanding. So society supports Brahmin by giving donation. Brahmin is not supposed to earn money. He is supposed to spend his time on research in spiritual matters. So today also we are following that to some extent. For example, scientists don't earn money. Scientists live on the grant. Scientists intellectual work. If intellectual work also you want to start doing as a profession, then there is difficulty. The society gives a grant. Society gives a donation or grant for scientific research. So that system was well established in the early days. Gradually the system degenerated into caste system, which is wrong. Caste system is by birth, whereas Varna Vyavastha is by inner urge, inner tendency. In Gurukula education, the inner urge of the child was recognized by the Guru and nourished. So the Varna Vyavastha was non-competitive system of education, non-competitive system of life. A person with the Brahmin tendency should focus on his tendency and inborn urge, should focus on that profession, should not get into other profession. So this was the system. So inborn urge and profession should match. This is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita shloka. Swadharme Nidanam Shreyam Paradharmam Bhayapaham. Try to do Swadharma means your inborn urge. Do your profession in tune with inborn urge rather than getting into some profession which doesn't suit your inborn urge. That's the meaning of Bhagavad Gita shloka.